Hello, my name is James Cartwright, and this is my pitch for the Barge, a mobile top-down perspective time management game where players frantically tap and drag in order to keep their medieval pub profitable while rowdy patrons threaten to destroy it. While other time management games focus on serving guests' needs, the Barge introduces the additional complication of securing the bar as well. At the end of each night, players' profits will have to be greater than the repair costs in order to keep the pub running. Otherwise, the pub closes and the player loses. In order to maximize profits, players will frantically seek customers as they arrive by tapping and dragging them to an open chair. Seated patrons will raise their hand to let you know they need a drink. Tapping on them will move the bartender over to serve them. The faster you tap, the faster he moves. Like most Diner Dash style games, the faster you serve, the more profit you make. In Barge, however, that profit is going to decrease as the night goes on, as rowdy patrons slowly destroy the bar. Players can mitigate this damage by paying close attention to the bar's rowdiness meter. The rowdiness meter is at the top of the screen and tracks how rowdy the bar is at any given moment. The higher the meter, the faster damage is being done to the pub, and the faster profit drops. Several factors will increase rowdiness. Customers becoming angry, overserved, or fighting. Rowdiness can never be reduced, so keeping it low is important. If the meter ever maxes out, the bar is damaged beyond repair and the player loses. Each customer has a personal happiness/anger meter. Once a customer raises their hand for a drink, their happiness meter will start to drop as they wait to be served. Once the drink arrives, the meter will begin to increase again. If the meter ever reaches 0, the customer becomes angry, switching the happiness meter to a rising red anger meter while increasing the rowdiness meter. Also, angry customers will provide less profit for each drink until they become happy customers again. If a customer's anger meter completely fills, they will start a fight with a nearby patron, raising the rowdiness meter again. Players also have to manage each customer's inebriation meter. Each time they receive a drink, the meter will rise. If the player is ever full, that customer becomes overserved. When this happens, the rowdiness meter increases and will continue to increase as long as that customer is overserved. In order to counteract this effect, players will have to switch their pouring beverage to water, which involves tapping the water icon each time before tapping on the customer you want to serve the water to. Accidentally serving water to a non-overserved customer immediately turns that customer angry. Customer race affects each meter differently. For example, dwarfs' inebriation meter rises slowly, but their happiness meter drops faster than other races. Elves are the opposite. The rowdiness meter will increase if a dwarf is ever sat next to an elf and vice versa. Humans' inebriation meters drop rapidly when served water, but if they ever become angry, their anger meter rises faster than other races. They have no problem sitting next to a dwarf or an elf, but if they are ever set next to another human, their rowdiness meter will rise. Lastly, one of the best tools at the player's disposal is the mercenary bouncer. This brute is used to stop fights and toss out overserved customers that you don't have time to deal with. To use him, players must tap and drag him over to the patrons that need service. He will then be unavailable for a short period of time while he takes care of the issue. The bouncer has his own energy meter that decreases each time he is used. His energy can be replenished by quickly tapping him, providing him a frosty beverage for his troubles, but taking away from valuable serving time. If his energy ever reaches 0, he quits and walks out of the pub. As the night goes on, the clock on the wall ticks away until it reaches last call. At this point, customers will no longer raise their hand for drinks, but players have a few moments in order to maximize profits by quickly serving anyone who still needs a drink. Once the last customer is served or time runs out, players will be shown their profits for the night minus any damages. If the player was able to successfully earn more profit than repair costs, they clear the stage and move on to the next one. If they end up with more repair costs than they can afford, they fail and have to redo the level. Each level increases in difficulty in addition to having different layout and customer combinations. The Barge is similar to the Diner and Hotel Dash games in that it requires you to frantically attend to multiple customers and situations while effectively managing your time. The two biggest developmental risks to the Barge are balancing and ability. It'll be very important to balance all of the meter's increase and decrease rates as well as the racial abilities of the different patrons. In addition, we have yet to work at any kind of touchscreen controls in our programming classes involving Unity. If needed, the controls could be easily adapted to a PC mouse, so this is less of a risk in the long run. Running a pub in the Middle Ages is tough, especially one as busy as the Barge. Thank you for your time.